evening to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to KUTV Weekend Live on this 20th day of the month of September, the year 2025. While our reporters have been busy as usual gathering and packaging news stories across and beyond the world to make you informed. And without much ado, Weekend Live starts right now. Deputy President Kindiki assures Kenyans of the government's commitment to offer free health care and support at least 2.2 million vulnerable Kenyans.
Matibabu katika hospitali zote za umma itakuwa bure kwa outpatient. Kama wewe ni member wa SHA itakulipia.
Manyata Member of Parliament Gitonga Mukunji calls for abolishment of the housing levy and redirection of the funds to constituency level equalization programs.
Absorption rate ya hiyo affordable housing ni less than 10%. It is a failed program.
President William Ruto preaches peace in the eastern region amid assurance of progress.
Tutafanya maendeleo kwa hii Ukambani. Kwa sababu mimi siwezi kukubali sehemu yoyote ya Kenya ibaki nyuma.
Stakeholders embark on ensuring a safe sports space during this year's commemoration of the International Day of University Sports at the Kenyatta University.
Our sporting spaces safe? Do they empower both men and women equally? Do they foster respect, inclusion, and community growth?
This is Weekend Live with Ochieng, Cynthia.
And remember that this broadcast is also live across all our social media platforms. On YouTube, it's KUTV News Kenya. On X, it's KUTV_Kenya. Naomi Ombui is joining us for the sign language interpretation. Now, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has announced that the government is working towards free outpatient healthcare services for all Kenyans. He made this clear while addressing residents of Mashuru area in Kajiado County, where he championed for a new plan to support 2.2 million vulnerable citizens. Kindiki also strongly condemned divisive politics, emphasizing that the government's main agenda is to bring development across the entire country.
Speaking in Mashuru, Kajiado County, the Deputy President noted that social health insurance SHA will cover hospital costs for the unprivileged. He revealed that the President has already kickstarted the initiative targeting Kenyans who lack the means to pay for medical treatment. According to Kindiki, the government has allocated 22 billion shillings for healthcare under the SHA program, prioritizing 2.2 million vulnerable Kenyans to ensure equal access to essential health services for all.
Serikali imetoa shilingi bilioni 22 katika mwaka huu kuhakikisha kwamba matibabu katika hospitali zote za umma itakuwa bure kwa outpatient. Kama wewe ni member wa SHA itakulipia. The President launched the program for indigent Kenyans, and that program is supporting initially 2.2 million Kenyans who are spread in 550 households.
Kindiki also issued a stern warning against divisive political rhetoric, stressing that the government aims to provide equal services to all Kenyans, regardless of region or background.
Kuna wengine hapo nyuma kazi yao ilikuwa kueneza ukabila kila mahali. Wanaenda huko kusukuma mambo yao ya kijiji yao peke yao. Na hiyo ndio tunasema Kenya yote ni ya watu wa Kenya na hakuna sehemu ya Kenya inapaswa kuachwa nyuma kimaendeleo.
In addition, other leaders including Taveta MP John Bwire, David Olenkedianye, and Esther Passaris supported the initiative and called for unity, peace and equal justice for all Kenyans.
Ameketi hapa naibu wa rais. Ametuambia anatuletea shilingi milioni 50 ya hospitali. ametuambia anaenda yeye mwenyewe kupambana ili tupate barabara.
This is the real hustlers benefit. Tukileta faida, kuleta empowerment kwa local villages, kwa local towns, hiyo basi ndio inamaanisha kwamba hii serikali yetu ya William Samoei Ruto inajali hustlers.
Tafadhali wa Kenya, tukae na amani ya Mungu. Tukikaa na amani ya Mungu, hii nchi yetu itapata ile prosperity wale ambao walipigania uhuru yetu walikuwa wanatuombea.
Through the social health insurance program, the government is determined to ensure that every Kenyan access quality healthcare for free, offering new hope to millions of unprivileged citizens across the country. Rose Kaguku, KUTV, Nairobi.
Moving on, Manyata Member of Parliament Gitonga Mukunji has condemned the government's housing levy, urging its abolition and calling for funds to be redirected towards constituency-level equalization programs to better address local development needs.
Speaking in Kathita slums, Embu town, during the electrification launch, MP Mukunji condemned the housing levy as a burden, labeling the affordable housing program a failure, with only a 10% absorption rate, arguing it's not transforming lives as promised. The legislator raised concern about fund management in the ministry, suggesting possible embezzlement due to the low absorption rate. He alleged housing funds are being diverted to finance government empowerment initiatives led by President Ruto and the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua.
Sasa unaambiwa ati nyumba imejengwa wapi? Na nyumba ngapi zimejengwa? Na pesa ni karibu 10 billion a month. Absorption rate ya hiyo affordable housing ni less than 10%. It is a failed program. It's a failed program because even the absorption at the rate of the ministry is questionable.
Additionally, he added that affordable housing fund will impact vulnerable communities more if managed locally, not centrally. He emphasized that since the levy is mandatory for salaried Kenyans, citizens deserve clear, tangible benefits from their contribution.
Unajua stima iko karibu na maji. Na ndio maana mimi naambianga rais aache kutudanganya na manyumba. Aache kutudanganya sijui anajenga affordable housing. Affordable housing ijengwe Kavita kama anataka kusema ni ya ukweli. Na hakuna hata affordability sababu hakuna mtu ya Kavita ataweza kununua nyumba.
He demanded the government to stop deductions immediately and redirect the collected funds to local development projects to install electricity power in remote areas, arguing this initiative will better serve communities than the current national housing plan.
Kama hapa shida kubwa ile iko ni stima, tunaongezwa hiyo pesa, tunaenda kuwekea nyinyi stima. Sio kweli? Sababu sasa huku kila mahali, kila mtu ako na kanyumba kake. Sasa unaambiwa ati nyumba imejengwa wapi?
He concluded that for greater transparency and accountability, the government should publish detailed reports on housing levy fund usage by engaging local communities in decision-making to ensure funds directly address their needs and restore public trust. Beryl Otieno reporting for KUTV.
Away from that, matter security now. Kenya's Prime Cabinet Secretary Dr. Musalia Mudavadi has warned that artificial intelligence is intensifying terrorism threats by enabling extremist groups like Al-Shabaab to exploit technology for propaganda, recruitment and cybercrimes. Speaking during a meeting with UN and Counter-Terrorism Executive Director, Dr. Mudavadi emphasized Kenya's multifaceted approach, including legislative measures, enhanced broader security and regional cooperation. He called for increased global support in technology transfer and funding to counter evolving threats. Kenya supports the city's processed assessment to strengthen national and regional counter-terrorism efforts.
Kenya hosts the only UN headquarters in the Global South. That is the UNEP Habitat Center at Gitiri. This center is going to grow in importance and in terms of engagement, because as we speak, at 80, quite a number of institutions.
In matters health, Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni has reaffirmed the ban of the public use of tobacco, shisha and other harmful substances, warning that smoking in schools, homes and public spaces will not be tolerated. Speaking in Ndia, Kirinyaga County, she reminded the public that the Tobacco Control Act prohibits smoking in public areas and restricts cigarette promotion. Mudhoni emphasized that second-hand smoke poses even greater risk to children and families, urging strict enforcement of existing laws. She called on churches, parents and local leaders to support anti-smoking campaigns, stressing the government's commitment to protecting communities from the dangers of drug use.
Local areas, you will find shisha bottles just placed on the tables, and it has gone up to mashinani. I want to state categorically that shisha remains banned in Kenya. We have not backtracked on that. The cigarettes, e-cigarettes with flavors are also not acceptable in the country. Today we have met with the clergy, and my ask is to tell them that tobacco is the gateway to other drugs. It is the gateway to even bang, it is the gateway to cocaine, it is the gateway to alcohol, and it is important to note that it is a silent killer and destroyer in health matters.
Meanwhile, President William Ruto has called on Kenyans to put aside tribal and political divisions, saying unity is key to unlocking Kenya's economic potential. Speaking in Machakos County, the president emphasized that his government's top priorities remain economic revival, accessible healthcare and quality education for all citizens.
President William Ruto, while in Machakos for a church service and inspection of development projects, warned that tribalism continues to undermine Kenya's economic growth. He announced measures to stabilize the economy, including raising maize output from 40 million to 75 million bags by year's end.
Tulikubaliana tupunguze mambo ya njaa. Tumefanya mambo. Mahindi leo tumezalisha ilikuwa 40 million, tumekuja 64 million. Mwaka huu kwa mapenzi ya Mungu tutafika 75 million. Tumerekebisha sekta ya sukari, we are importing less sugar. Tumerekebisha sekta ya kahawa, tumerekebisha sekta ya chai. The whole space is beginning to shape up.
President William Ruto also appealed to the people of Eastern Kenya to support his government, assuring them of visible development projects aimed at changing the face of the region.
And that is why nilisema hapo mbeleni, kwa mbinu zote tutafanya maendeleo kwa hii Ukambani, kwa sababu mimi siwezi kukubali sehemu yoyote ya Kenya ibaki nyuma. It is not right, it is not fair, it is not godly.
Alfred Mutua, the Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Protection, praised President William Ruto's government for prioritizing development and service delivery. He urged Kenyans to support its agenda, stressing that unity and collaboration are essential to achieving lasting progress across the nation.
Vile Kenya inasonga na muungano wa maendeleo, na vile sisi tunatoroka maendeleo, kuna viongozi wengine wanatoroka maendeleo. We should be very careful. Kwa sababu rais huyu wetu anatupenda, lakini lazima tumuonyeshe joto. Tiwewe? Tumuonyeshe joto. Kwa sababu wakati unataka kukamua ng'ombe uipigi teke, na sisi tumechoka kushika horns mbia wakati wengine wanakamua. Tunataka kukamua.
Archbishop Dr. Timothy Nzioki emphasized that prioritizing education will transform the region, urging both government and communities to strengthen learning institutions as a key driver of progress, unity and sustainable development.
Once the proposed university becomes a university, the face of this region will automatically change, and the proposed university will become a national institution that will enable people of the area and beyond to celebrate the blessings of today.
The Machakos tour ended with firm assurance from President Ruto that unity and targeted investment in education, health and agriculture will unlock lasting transformation for Eastern Kenya. Edna Nerea, KUTV, Nairobi.
Well, that report by Edna Nerea takes us to our very first break. We'll be back with more stories. Stay tuned.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just the quote the prosecution.
I think that this loss is a setback for Raila Odinga.
What policy recommendations were fronted by the candidate?
With diversity, we demystify important legal issues locally, regionally, and internationally.
What Tanzanians.
Join me, Elvin Onsongo, as I bring you more insights on law matters.
We are looking at social issues. What is the problem? Is it the economy? Is it...
Law Matters Show, creating awareness, advocacy, and enhancing lives.
Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome. You are watching Weekend Live with Ochieng, Cynthia.
Welcome back, and let's keep on informing you. Now, the government is set to roll out a major empowerment program in Kerio Valley, targeting young people who have abandoned banditry and handed over illegal firearms. Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen says the initiative will give reformed youths access to technical training colleges and support to start income-generating projects. Speaking in Cherangany, Trans Nzoia County, during the funeral of Mama Pauline Kipkore and to Kapseret, Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi, the CS thanked youths in Elgeyo Marakwet for surrendering weapons, while urging others in Tiati and West Pokot to follow suit. He added that 1 billion shilling has been allocated to open roads in the valley to enhance security.
Kila moja mwenye alikuwa anapambana mambo ya banditry, tunapeleka hao wafanye biashara, wafanye irrigation ya watermelon na mambo ingine kwa Kerio huko, wafanye mambo ingine, wengine waende TTI,
We want now to empower our young people who had wasted their life in banditry. Our next plan is to ensure that we have a major empowerment plan in Kerio Valley region that is going to help these young people. We are also having a serious program of government. Already the government has set aside 1 billion shillings to open up roads, especially in Tiaty, which has been a big problem for us. We will now have access to the deepest part of Tiaty constituency so that those bandits will not have a place to be.
DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua has taken a swipe at President William Ruto, accusing him of disrespecting the Ukambani community. Gachagua cited the dismissal of former Ketraco CEO John Mudivo and Ruto's swift visit to Machakos as a show of contempt. He criticized the replacement of Mudivo with leaders from Ruto's community, terming it tribal bias that undermines unity. Speaking in Machakos, Gachagua urged the president to prioritize equitable development in Ukambani and dismissed Ruto's attacks on the opposition. His remarks were echoed by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and other opposition figures who demanded fairness for the region.
William Ruto, please respect this community. Wewe unakuja hapa mitamboni ukilindwa na askari 3,000 kusomea viongozi ya Wakamba. Ati wamekataa maendeleo. Nani amekuzuia kuleta maji hapa Ukambani? Nani amekuzuia? Nani amekuzuia kuleta barabara? Couldn't you wait? Kwanza ukuje ufute huyu Mativo kesho. You don't sack him the same day you are coming to Machakos. And then wewe unaita sisi wa kabila. Why didn't you look for another Kamba? Hata uliza Kawaya hawa vibaraka yako.
Don't fall into that trap ya William Ruto ya kuwatumia maaskofu wakubwa wa kutoka eneo hili awapatie mahelikopta wazunguke nayo kila mahali, waende State House, wakae na yeye kando pale, waambiwe nendeni mukaconvince Kalonzo Musyoka ajiunge na yeye, wasiharibu wakati wao.
Rais yoyote anataka kusaidia eneo hili ama taifa letu should do what would transform lives here, not give handouts. Na lazima tumalize hii siasa ya handouts.
Chukua kitambulisho, chukua kura. 2027 ikifika ndio ile ya kusema one term iwezekane kupitia kwa kura.
Elsewhere, the national government through the Ministry of Public Service has reaffirmed its commitment to empowering young people by equipping them with a wide range of practical skills. According to Principal Secretary Dr. Jane Imbunya, this initiative is being rolled out through the National Youth Service Training Colleges, which not only prepare graduates for employment and self-reliance, but also instill patriotism and responsibility. Speaking at the Achia Ekachara NYS College in Teso North, Dr. Imbuya noted that the government is working on upgrading facilities to ensure quality training, while local leaders and clergy urged full support for the institution. Hundreds of squatters in Laikipia County protested in Rumorut town demanding the National Land Commission to nullify a recent land allocation list that excluded many from a 7-year resettlement struggle. They accused local officials of benefiting at their expense, with influential individuals receiving vast tracts of public land, despite claims of lacking public participation in the process. NLC officials and county leaders failed to respond. The allocation controversy, stemming from a 2018 exercise, has left over 1,500 squatters without recognition, prompting calls for justice and transparency.
Kuliwa na mabenyenye mpaka hata tumeshindwa tutafanya nini? Atambue hata atima, atambue hata wajane. Sisi pale tunashindwa tutafanya nini? Tuingie msituni gani kwa ajili za bado tuko kwa Pearson. Pearson wanatuambia tuame. Hata leo hatuwezi rudi Katutura. Tutaishi hapa. Ndiye ajue mahali atatuweka. Sisi kama jamii tumeshindwa tutapita wapi? Kama wamama tumeshindwa tutaweka wapi watoto? Tuingie msituni gani juu ya watoto? Sio watoto wetu waajiriwe kwa kaunti. Sio nini fanyike kwa kaunti.
Leo hii tuko kwa maandamano kwa sababu ya mashamba imechukuliwa na wale wenye wanastahili kuwa wanachukua hiyo mashamba, wale scooters kabisa hawakupata hiyo mashamba kabisa. Imepewa mabwenyenye, imepewa matajiri, imepewa makampuni zingine kubwa kubwa zenye hatujui hata zimetoka wapi. Hizo kampuni hata si hapa. Wamama wenye wametezekea huku bila makao hawakupata hata moja.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Welcome back and let's get sporty. A call to ensure safe environments for university students involved in sports have been made during this year's commemoration of the International Day of University Sports, which was held at Kenyatta University. Stakeholders in the sports sector are being urged to promote gender inclusion and support sportsmen living with disabilities within universities.
This year's celebration of the International Day of University Sports, held at Kenyatta University, were themed Safeguarding in University Sports, Advancing Safe, Inclusive and Development-Driven Athletes. The event was officially opened by the Kenyatta University Vice-Chancellor Professor Paul Wainaina, represented by Professor Bonaventure Okello. The Vice-Chancellor emphasized the need for universities to provide safe spaces for students who are actively involved in sports.
One, it reminds us that sport must remain a safe space, free from harassment, violence, discrimination and exploitation. Two, it emphasizes inclusivity, ensuring that men, women, and persons with disabilities participate equally in sport.
Reports of abuse and harassment among athletes have been on the rise in recent years, with sports advocates noting that incidents of abuse against female athletes and those with disabilities are increasing due to victims remaining silent when they are harassed.
East Africa, that is Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, paints a troubling picture. The prevalence of sexual and gender-based violence in sports is alarmingly high, at 62% across Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. In Kenya, it is even worse because in 2022 it was at 43, but in 2024-2025 our data shows that it was at staggering 69% of women who reported experiencing sexual and gender-based violence.
A call has now been made encouraging student athletes to speak up when they face abuse, while stakeholders and advocates in the sports sector are being urged to ensure inclusivity and safety for all athletes.
This year's theme, Safeguarding in University Sports, Advancing Safe, Inclusive and Development-Driven Athletes, invites us to look beyond the scoreboard. It challenges us to ask, are our sporting spaces safe? Do they empower both men and women equally? Do they foster respect, inclusion, and community growth? The answers to these questions matter because sport is more than competition. It is education, it is character building, and it is a powerful tool for social transformation.
The celebrations have showcased the commitment of universities and stakeholders in the sports arena to ensure a safe environment for students athletes, the goal being not only to achieve great sporting results, but also to safeguard the welfare and security of students involved in sports during their time at the university. Blue Smile Hassan, KUTV.
The national under-20 women football team, the Rising Starlets, will face off Ethiopia this Sunday at Ebebe Bikila Stadium in Addis Ababa before hosting the return of leg on 28th of September at the Ulinzi Sports Complex in Nairobi. The winner on aggregate will progress to the third round of the CAF qualifying for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. The Jacqueline Juma-led charge departed for Ethiopia on the 18th of September 2025 ahead of their FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifier. Jeremiah Njenga and Ruth Wakabu emerged champions at the third edition of the Mwema Half Marathon held in the scenic National Game Reserve, Embu County. Njenga clinched victory in the men's 21-kilometer race with a time of 1 hour, 5 minutes and 24 seconds, edging out veteran John Mwangangi, while Alexander Jaye finished third. In the women's category, Wakabu dominated, clocking 1 hour, 13 minutes, 31 seconds ahead of Lydia Naliaka and Regina Wambui. The marathon, which also featured 10-kilometer race, has supported over 150 vulnerable students with scholarships since its inception. Organizers lauded the event's role in nurturing talent and boosting Embu's profile in sports and tourism.
Nimefurahi, nimekimbia na watu wenye wamekimbia 59, 60. So hata nikiwa kwa race siku expect inaweza shinda, lakini nilisema wacha nijaribu kupush, wakikatika at least niwe position. Nilikuwa nataka tu niingie top 5.
Siku ya race ilikuwa mzuri, lakini changamoto ilikuwa joto. Changamoto ilikuwa joto, lakini nimeweza kufaulu na kupata ushindi.
Ya leo imetufunza mambo mengi sana kwa sababu wakimbiaji wetu walikuwa wamejiandaa vizuri.
Kuona impact kubwa kutokana na mbio hizi, kwa sababu hili buga letu la wanyama pia limeweza kuwa na ongezeko la wanaitwa wageni.
And to some, this will be a great news, and to some, probably it won't be a great news. Now, just news in Manchester United, or rather, should I start with Chelsea has conceded to Manchester United 1-2 respectively. I hope so. I know you would take. Now, that marks the end of the news bulletin that we had for you tonight. Now, Mbui has been our sign language interpreter. My name is Ochieng, Cynthia, and on behalf of everyone behind the scenes, my producers, directors, it's a thank you. Till next time, do have a good night.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome